Hello everyone, it's me DSAP again, and we're back here in Satisfactory. So I put a train together. I don't have the station set up all the way, but I just put the supplies I'm going to be needing to start putting together my turbo fuel. And I just noticed I don't have the sound on. Let me turn that back on. Alright. So, I had to leave this running to get all the supplies and stuff I needed, so I always just turn the sound off when I do that. That way the game could just be running in the background. But I made this track to go over to where I'm going to be building this out. So I figured I'd let you guys see the whole like train line. Like I don't have it parallel yet, but there will be another track on like to the left. And then I'll come down here and then they'll have to split like in this area because they're gonna have to go through one of those other two passages right there. Because these things are only so big that one train can fit through. But I think I did an okay job at running the rail, trying to make it semi-straight, but I always ran into, oh look, there's a big rock there, so. But now I'll be able to take advantage of running trains everywhere. And then I have it come back over here to this area. And then it shoots back to the water back here. And I like the way this looks, where it's like running right next to everything. Kind of cool. But I'm probably going to have to mess around and make sure that, like, I'm not going to have problems with the train throughput being one-sided and stuff. But basically I came out here, built a platform, and the way I justified where to put it was I'm going to need water, so I needed enough space to put one of these guys underneath. So that's where I put the bottom. And then I realized I'm gonna need to run conveyor belts and stuff underneath. So I left a little 4 meter gap. And then up here's where I'm gonna be starting to put stuff. So let me go ahead and make all this uh, foundations and start laying out the stuff, and then I'll get back to you guys when I'm ready to build. Alright, so I'm back here, and I have the basic layout I want. So I'll explain. I'm going to have the crude oil coming up, and it's going to go to this lane and this lane, and go in, make rubber, heavy oil residue, plastic and the heavy oil residue. And then I'll be taking the heavy oil residue off of this line and running it back here to these machines. But first I got packagers here that's going to be putting 600 water per minute into packages and feeding them over here with the heavy oil residue. And then all that's feeding into this guy that's going to be unpacking all that. And then I'm going to have the empty containers come back and rejoin in here. And then the fuel that's coming off of here is going to feed back and split into 3 into the other side here, which is going to be producing the turbo fuel. And then the compacted coal is going to be coming from the train once I set it up. So, basically I try to make it as compact as I could, as far as I was aware, myself. But I'm gonna have a little extra space here, so I'll probably end up taking this part off or something, and I'll probably end up moving this chain back a little bit, just so it's like not right next colliding. But now all I gotta do is run all the pipes and all the belts, and then all the turbo fuel that's coming off of these, I think I'm gonna end up running it this way somehow. I'll have to see it. I was thinking about doing like 10 rows of 11 or something, and then an extra one somewhere. So that's going to be fun to figure out. But I also need to make sure I got enough room. I think as long as I go past this, I should be okay. I shouldn't collide. But I was planning on doing probably something like, oh, where is it? Fuel generators. So I have 5 lined up. I can't place these because I don't have the materials, but like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then at the end have one turned in like this. And then come back down, which would be 10 or 5 on this side, 5 on this side, and then 1 at the very end, which would be 11. And then mirror it to the other side, so that'd be 22. And then 44, 66, 88. And then it should be like 110. And then at the very end, just have one like that at the very end of the line. Make the 111. And then somewhere, probably here or something, I'll put a little connector that's going up and down. And then I'll feed it back here maybe with, that's what I can do. I can feed that back here and then put like a little bitty packager back here that's making the little bit of extra turbo fuel that's coming off that go in here and get packaged up. And then probably just send it to a sink. Because I forget exactly how much it is. It's, let's see. So it's 18.75, and then, so, times 18.75. Oops. Alright, I'll have to look it up. But I know it's like, I think it's 111.1111. So it's like, it's not producing a whole bunch of extra liquid, but it's like 4 meters cubed or something. 4 cubic meters. So I just need to be able to get rid of it. That way the system don't shut down on me. But let me go ahead and run these pipes. And then I'll see you when I get that part done. Alright, so we're back. That took a little while. I color coded all my pipes, so oil's black, heavy residues purple, the regular orange is fuel, the red's turbo fuel, and blue is water. And I have the water hooked up already, and the oil as well. So this should be pumping. Now all I have to do is actually hook up the machines. And right now, I can have a max of 300 or 3000, and my max is over, but I'm not actually running all that yet. I'm only doing about 1550 to 1650. But let me go ahead and switch back to my regular hotbar. If I turn these on, this will turn on all 10 of my rubbers. And then over here, I didn't actually put a bowl in. So let's put a pole there. And then start the plastic up as well. So these will take the oil and turn them into heavy. And I also went ahead and put in these valves. That way it won't slosh the liquids around. So there's 200 heavy residue coming from the rubber production, because 20 times 10, 200. And then over here, it's only set to 100 because this side only puts out 100. So they should meet there and then go up, instead of that trying to push this way and out. So hopefully that will save me a lot of headache from this stuff running. And then this goes over here, but it can't do anything yet. But let's go ahead and turn on these little guys. These are my packagers that are packaging water. That way I can use them for this, which is diluted water. So in a second, they should start getting water from these guys. I have just a 60 belt down here, so it takes a second. Ooh, it blew a fuse. Oh, that's not good. Haha. Alright, so I'm gonna have to go turn some stuff off. I will be right back. Alright, so I made it back over here. I went and turned off like all my other production stuff. So hopefully I have enough power here to turn all this stuff on still. That should start pumping the fuel. And I need to go over here and hook these things up. Actually for right now, I'm not even gonna worry about hooking these 3 machines up. I do need to hook up all those. Which I wouldn't doubt that that's gonna end up kicking. Oh, it's getting close though. And then this one just hooks up to that, and that's hooked up to every single one of my generators. So hopefully this will start pumping and doing its thing, and some of these generators will kick on. If not, it's gonna get really close and kick a fuse again. One second. Sorry, I had to cough, so I muted the microphone. Alright, so where we were earlier was it makes the distilled gas, it goes into here, gets unpackaged, goes into this pipe, comes over here, and then I have it so it splits up at about the amount that it's supposed to. I forget what the exact number was. Actually, these were 2025, which is correct. But there was one I know that I had to set that it had to be like a little bit more than it should have been. Because this one goes to 2025 as well. And then this one back here I just left empty because I'll have every last bit. I think it was actually these guys. Yeah. So I got it so it can let 168.8, but it's actually like 168.75 that it can do. So I mean it should still work. And then all that gets brung over here and it goes this way, but it can also kind of slosh up here. But I'm hoping all this stuff starts kicking on, which it should be soon. Hey. Oh, that's not cool. But I have it so it splits all of it. Because each one of these, I looked up, takes 4.5 M3. So, with me setting these to 49.5, it's the exact number I need to run 11. But hopefully that should work once I get all these machines up and running 100%. But I did exactly what I said, 5 on the side, 5 on the side, 1 at the very end. So there's 11, 11, and then it just goes down here and keeps repeating, basically. And this way as well, that way. That way and that way, and then there's one extra one right at the end. Because 11 times 10 is 110, so I had to put one extra one. Well, hopefully these pipes are filling up. But hopefully all these will start kicking on and staying on. They should all have power. What's up with this? No power. Oh, maybe just because there's been no fluid? But or maybe it just hasn't got any fluids to it yet. But yeah, it should be, yeah, it's jumping up now. But it should eventually even itself out and run constantly. I might have to make some more plastic containers. Seems to be running. Alright, all that seems to be flowing. Is this still running at a decent pace? Yeah, it seems to be like perfectly timed out. That's good. As long as this stuff stays running constantly, it should start filling up all the pipes and stuff like it's supposed to. Unless I made a mistake somewhere. Which is possible. I'm only human. So I'm gonna let this run for a little bit and see if it's gonna straighten out or if I messed up somewhere. And then I'll have to chase down that if I did. I'll be right back. Oh, I got everything turned back on. Well, as far as the power goes. I had to go run all the way back over there because I couldn't take my tube or the train because the power was out. And I just went and unplugged like all of the stuff that was doing anything besides the coal generators. And then I came back, started it up, and then it was going all over the place. So I ended up taking like every single one of the what do you call them? Valves out, and it seems to be working better now without the valve, so I don't know. I've always had problems with fluids. So if any of you guys have any like helpful tips or anything, hit me up and let me know. Every time I mess around with fluids, I seem to have problems. So I'm not using any valves. I'm not using any extra pumps or anything. Because I even tried putting pumps in to force fluid to the generators and stuff. But so I got a couple that like flicker, but most of them are up and running. I don't have an overflow pipe anymore because if I can't keep all of them running, there's no point in having an overflow because I'm not making enough fuel to power all of them. So the overflow little bit, which is like 0.5 cubic meters or whatever, isn't gonna hurt to stay in the system because something's off and I need to figure it out. But I spent a lot of time already trying to figure it out, and the thing is how it's running at high 18 and 19 megawatts. I think I'm just gonna leave it like that for now and actually start working on some of my other projects. But let me make sure that like my oil and stuff is properly coming in here, because that could be a reason. Would you look at that? I wonder where that's having issues. It's not even getting it there. Alright, well, let's chase this down, because that's a decent amount of problem. Oh, because I put valves back here. Bet you anything. Bet you I take the valves out, it'll fix the problem. I made it ugly over here. Still gotta clean that up. But, yeah. I just stole the pipe from over here. And I'm using the normal and then two impures, and I just threw a bunch of shards in them. You get to 600 because all the other oil things are over that direction. Alright, so now that's running at 600. Maybe now my thing will run properly. I knew something was up, I just couldn't figure it out. 600. So those weren't staying on fully, I bet. So I wasn't like 100% productive. So now that should keep everything flowing nicely. It'll take a second for the system to catch up. But yeah, the bigger your system gets, the weirder some of the stuff is sometimes. because that was a little problem that was at the start of the production line. Like my water didn't have that problem. I didn't use any valves or anything on it. As soon as I threw valves, it messed it all up. Yep. So it's like splitting it. Alright. Well, hopefully this will keep these running now. Dip down. Why? But yeah, I'll probably just leave it there, and unless something really crazy happens, it should be good. As long as like this doesn't back up. Because these things were holding a little bit of fuel, but they seem to be going down, so that's good. And let's check the pole again. Alright, so it's staying like above 19,000 megawatts now, so now I can go hook up all my other stuff. I still need to hook up a train over here to take my plastic and rubber, but I don't actually have anywhere for that needs that stuff right now anyways, so I just have 2 containers sitting over here. Oh, I'll show you guys the mess up stuff underneath here. So this is where the rubber is being made. It comes down with a conveyor into mergers, and then it all collects up over there and heads to a smart splitter where it will go to that container or overflow over here, which goes up to a merger that goes to a sink. And then my plastic's the same way. Comes down, merges together. Then it goes over to a smart splitter. And then it was going up to a constructor to make empty containers for that overflow bit. But seeing as how that's not running, it's just going over to the overflow area. And then it would go to the container if it wasn't full, and then if it is, it goes up to the sink. And then this over here is the line for bringing the empty containers back to the water packers. And then this is from when it's coming out of the water packers to the diluted fuel. And then it up top goes over to the unpacker for the fuel, and then the containers come back. And then that's all that side. And then this is just a big mess of because I have 3 rows of refineries and they needed compacted coal. I just brung the conveyor lifts down and had the first one going straight, and then I made the other 2 go either side. That way I could put a splitter in front and then just send one to this guy and then one to both of the other ones. And then each 3 of these has a splitter. And then them 3 splitters have a splitter. So this is the main line coming from the train. And then I have a whole industrial storage here that's full. And then it pulls twice as fast off of the train. That way I make sure I have enough, because when the train comes and docks, it stops the flow of resources. So if you double line it out into a container, when it's doing that, you'll be able to make out the time, like the item loss that you would have. But my train's off doing something somewhere. Hopefully it's coming back. And then this is the concrete I threw down earlier. But that should be it now. But yeah, it's still fluctuating a little bit. I don't like that, but I'd have to actually get in here and really comb through everything to try to figure out where the little bit of inefficiencies at, which is killing me. Could be that, but I doubt it. But I'll do it for the heck of it. Because I was just using the 60 belts because that's how many it uses anyways, so. But I'll upgrade the belts to see if that does anything. Doubt it. Unless these were backed up. Which I mean, it could have been. Don't know though. Seems to be going at a decent clip now. But I think I'm gonna call it here for this video and probably go turn on my production stuff again. I think it's how I got power and I don't have to worry about it fluctuating as bad as it was. Now it's just like the top 600 or something that's messing around with. But I'm gonna go hook all that stuff back up and then I can actually start using more electric. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video and hopefully see you in the next one.